Welcome back to the Your Next Move podcast. My name is Kimberly Brown, and I am so excited to be here. And I also have to apologize. I think I started the year saying something about I wanted to do 52 consecutive episodes, and I definitely missed last week. I have been so busy, y'all. So busy and struggling in between recording episodes, pre recording, video, audio. But I'm back. It was only 1 week, so it wasn't like it was like a year because I've done that before too, but we are back on it. And we're kicking off with a series of episodes that I've really been wanting to share for a long time. And we're talking about speaking. Specifically, what we're talking about what it takes to build a speaking presence that actually grows your business, opens doors, and gets people talking about you long after you've left whatever stage you're on. And today, I'm excited to really start at the foundation. We are going to talk about how to become a referable speaker. Now, I want you to think about the last time someone recommended a speaker to you. Maybe it was for an event, a panel, a podcast, a workplace event, whatever it was. I want you to think about why they recommended that person. Was it because they were the most talented person they'd ever seen on a stage? Maybe, but probably not. Because honestly, it's usually because the person made it easy to be referred. They had a clear message, a memorable presence, and they made sure people knew exactly who to send their way. And that's what we're digging into today. I have my cohort of the Visibility Shift reading a book called The Referable Speaker. So I'm going to cover some of those insights here, but also add some of my own ideas and thoughts on how I teach this to my clients. I want you to understand the difference between a speaker who gets talked about and a speaker who gets forgotten. And I promise you, it has a lot less to do with how polished you are and a lot more about how to do some very specific, very learnable things. So let's get into it. My first point, it's not talent, it's the clarity of the message and the niche. So first things first, I want to bust a myth for you, okay? Speakers who get referred over and over again, they are not necessarily the most dynamic, the most charismatic, the most polished people in the room. I've watched some of the most incredibly talented people get passed over for speaking opportunities. And it wasn't because they weren't good enough, but it was because they are not able to articulate what they do. So here's what I mean by that. When you are unclear of the impact you bring to your job, for your clients, in your business, people don't know what to do with you because no one could articulate what they do. When someone is considering referring you, they're essentially vouching for you. And people do not vouch for what they cannot explain. If your message is, I help women become their best selves, I can't refer you. That's too broad. I literally don't know who to send your way. But if your message is, I help women in corporate who are ready to leave and build their own thing, now I have a much better idea of who actually needs you. Your niche is not a limitation. It is the reason you get referred. So many folks are afraid to niche down because they're like, oh my gosh, but I do this and I do that and I do this and I do this. Just because you do all the things doesn't mean it won't happen if you just talk about one. I can't tell you how many times people will reach out to me and be like, okay, I know you do this, but are you available to do these other things that are kind of similar to that? So here's what I want you to ask yourself. Can the person who just heard me speak describe what I do in one sentence without me being in the room? If the answer is no, that is your first assignment. You need to get clear and get specific. The riches, as they say, are in the niches. I always say that wrong. The riches are in the niches. Niches, one of those, right? And nowhere is that more true than when we're talking about being on a speaker circuit. Number two, my second point here, your talk needs to be about something people can repeat. So people need to be able to repeat the title. There needs to be a little bit of marketing in there, right? This is something that doesn't get talked about enough. And once I say it, you're probably never going to be able to unhear it. Your talk title is marketing. Not just for the event organizer, not just for the program. Your talk title is how your audience refers you. It's the thing they say at dinner when someone's talking about experiencing you. It's what they text their friend and they'll be like, oh my gosh, you would actually love this. Here's what I've noticed though. The talk people remember and repeat tend to do one of three things. One, they're making a bold declaration, like why playing small is costing you the room. Or they're naming a specific pain or problem, like the confidence gap no one talks about in the boardroom. Or they make a promise and it's a clear, specific transformation, like from overlooked to overbooked. How to build a speaker brand that gets you paid. What doesn't travel is vague, inspirational titles that kind of sound good, but they say nothing, like unlock your potential, rise and shine, be the change. Yeah, they sound kind of good, but what are they actually doing? I know you may have even given one of these talks, and I say that with full love because I've been there too. But here's the test I want you to use. Can someone repeat your talk title to a friend at a networking event and have that friend immediately know what it's about? If yes, it is a referable title. If no, it's time for us to get back to the workshop and think about some other ideas and how we can tighten it up. And again, I'm talking just about your title slide. I'm not talking about full content. So, number three, the post stage follow up is where referrals actually happen. And okay, this is one of the things that most speakers miss and something that I've really been working hard on myself. And it is, I'm not exaggerating, probably the single biggest missed opportunity in speaking. Everyone focuses on the talk, the slide, the story, the energy, the closing line. And yes, all of those things matter. They definitely matter. But the 48 hours after you speak are more valuable than the talk itself. Think about it this way. You just spoke to a room full of people. Some of them were moved, some of them took notes, some of them leaned over and whispered to their neighbor, like, I need to bring her to my company. But if you walk off that stage and disappear, all of that energy is gone. That whispered conversation never turns into an email. That excitement becomes a memory, and then it becomes nothing. Your follow up is what converts a great talk into a referral engine. So here's what I want you to do within 48 hours of every single speaking engagement. One, send a thank you note to the event organizer. One, send a thank you note to the event organizer, not a generic one, a specific one. Name something from the event, make them feel seen because that organizer, they talk to other organizers. That email can turn into your next booking. Number two, if you collected emails or had a sign up during your talk, follow up with those people immediately while you are still warm in their minds, not 3 weeks later. And three, I want you to post about the event on your social media and tag the organizer, tag the event. This does a few things. It shows gratitude publicly and it signals to other event organizers that you show up, you engage, and you amplify. The follow up is not a nice to have, it is a part of your referral strategy. So, point number four, you have to make it easy to be referred. I want to end with something that I think is unsexy, but completely essential when we're talking about becoming a referable speaker. You can have a clear message, you can have a memorable title, you can nail your follow up. But if someone wants to refer you and they can't find what they need to actually do it, you're going to lose that referral. Here's the thing about referrals. They happen in moments of momentum because someone is excited about you. They want to pass your name along. They open their laptop, find your info, and they either find exactly what they need in under 2 minutes or they get frustrated and move on. This is not about being fancy, it's about being ready. So let me ask you, and be honest right now, if someone wanted to refer you as a speaker today, what would they find? Do you have a speaker page on your website that clearly states your topics, your audience, your credentials? Do you have a speaker one sheet or a booking guide that has your photo, your bio, your talk topics, or your contact info that you can send in an email in under 30 seconds? Are you showing up where you would like to show up? So I'm not a big believer that you have to be on every platform doing everything, but can someone Google you and find your LinkedIn? And on that LinkedIn, is it positioning you as a speaker? Are you sharing insights? Are there other talks that you've done in the past? Are you sharing behind the scenes? Are you posting and talking about the work that you're doing as a speaker? If any of those answers is no, that's your next move, not next month, this week. Referrals don't wait for you to be ready. You have to be ready before the referral comes. And if you're reading The Referable Speaker, I didn't get into what they talk a lot about in that book, which is the mechanics, the performance of being on stage, because we cannot take away that you have to kill it on stage. You have to create an experience when you are on stage. You can't just be reading from the teleprompter, not looking into the audience, not inserting humor and dynamics and vocal variety into your experience on the stage. All of those things matter. And The Referable Speaker is a great book. Again, I'm not affiliated with the authors, a publishing company, or anyone. It's just a book that I've personally been reading and I've shared with my clients. In our book club, we have a book club inside of the Visibility Shift that I am using to help myself and help others perfect the craft of speaking. So let's bring it home. If you want to be a referable speaker And I know you do. You're here listening to this episode. Here's the 4 point framework that I mentioned earlier. And honestly, five if we count being on stage and killing it, right? So, one, get clear on your niche and your message. If people can't describe what you do without you, that is where your work begins. Number two, make sure your talk title travels. It should make a bold declaration. Name a specific pain or promise, a clear transformation for your audience. Number three, follow up within 48 hours every single time. The talk gets you in the room, the follow up helps get you the referral and the next engagement. And fourth, make it easy to be referred. Update your speaker page, create your one sheet, show up online in a way that matches what you do. And five, like I said earlier, we have to think about the performance of speaking too. You can't just go up there and read slides. It has to be an experience for your audience. And that is something that you can work on. So if you are listening to this episode and you're thinking, okay, I want to get serious about speaking, but I'm not actually sure what it takes to get booked, build visibility, and turn stage into a growth strategy for my career or business, I want you to stay close to this podcast over the next few weeks. And I invite you to enroll. We have our Get Booked Blueprint, a 3-day training happening at the end of June that I invite you to. It is completely free. And we're going to be talking about how do you actually build a speaking business that helps you make your next move in your career or your business, get leads, get visibility, all of that, because that is exactly what I do for myself, for my clients, and in my business. All of my referrals for my business come through speaking. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single one of my upcoming episodes. We'll be going deeper into speaking and various topics. And make sure you go to the show notes and you check out how to register for the Get Booked Blueprint. It is a 3-day challenge happening at the end of this month. And as always, until next time, may your next move be your very best move.